What's up, people? Welcome back to Invest with T-Claus. My name is Tevi, and this channel is dedicated to my investment journey, along with coverage on crypto, Tesla, Neo, Virgin Galactic, and ChargePoint. Come for the information and stay for the perspective. So we're still a couple of weeks out from the ChargePoint Q1 earning results that is formally dropping on May 31st. I'll circle back on what they've been up to as we get a bit closer to the date. In the meantime, however, I do think it's worth a quick follow-up on Virgin Galactic after the meltdown we experienced this week in markets. I did warn last week that Virgin Galactic was poised for a new all-time low, and that prediction has now come to pass. So in today's video, I'll go over a few reasons why we made this new record low and give you my thoughts on whether or not this pop that we saw at the end of the week is a sign of a trend reversal. As always, this is not to be taken as financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This is my personal approach to investing and the thought process behind it. I'd recommend watching all the way through so you don't miss out on any pertinent information I'll be sharing. Drop this video a like if you haven't already and hit that subscribe button. Those are two easy ways to show your support to the channel and help it grow if you appreciate the content. All right, let's get into it. Well then, so where should we start? Maybe let's start with where we left off last week, and this here is what I told you. The last thing I will say is this. The stock market, broadly speaking, is about to get much worse before it gets better. Same goes for crypto, right? So just keep that in mind. Between now and the end of Q2, it's going to be one step forward and two steps back. So every rally more than likely will be unsustainable and we'll end up with a sharp sell-off. Well, this week in markets and crypto was indeed pretty brutal, right? And the S&P 500, which provides a broad view of the stock market, broke below the 4,000 level, officially erasing all of 2021 gains. Bitcoin dropped below the 30,000 support level, and at the lowest point, it was trading for just a few $100 over $25,000. The last time Bitcoin could be bought for $25,000 or less was in December of 2020. Hopefully, you weren't caught off guard like this guy here. I mean, the pain and the look of disappointment on his face, and I just feel for him. That said, we've since then recovered to just above the 4,000 level on the S&P, and Bitcoin is back right around $30,000 and fighting to stay above that level. There are three main reasons Virgin Galactic hit a new all-time low, but before we even get to the macro reasons that pushed the stock down this week, strike one is specific to Virgin Galactic and came in the form of another rating downgrade. Michael Chermoli from Traced Analyst downgraded the stock from a buy rating with a $24 price target to now $8 with a hold rating. The reason is none other than the delay to commercial flight start we already covered in last week's video. The downgrade was on Monday and started to move lower. Strike number two is, of course, tied to inflation coming in higher than anticipated at 8.3% versus the expected 8.1%. Some interesting fun facts in the article here. I think I'll link it if you want to go read it. The punchline, though, is that inflation is still high. And what that means in the grand scheme of things is that Jay Powell and the Fed will not be easing their foot off the rate hike gas pedal, and we can reasonably expect at least a 0.50 percentage point increase at each meeting over the next few months. That is, of course, a good thing if you think about it, because it means that they're serious about fighting inflation and it will be dealt with. But it also means that more selling has to take place to further reset stock valuations. A stock like Virgin Galactic, which is pre-revenue, will naturally get hit harder than a quality name like Apple, for example. So the CPI number metric for inflation, well, that came on Wednesday morning, okay? So that's strike two. For strike three, it wasn't until Thursday that both the stock market and crypto imploded completely, dragging Virgin Galactic down to hit its new all-time low of $5.14. And for that, you can thank the Luna stablecoin going to zero momentarily. Luna was the third largest stablecoin by market cap, and when it crashed, it sent a ripple effect. Now, this doesn't present a systemic risk to financial systems, as Janet Yellen pointed out. However, it does mean that the Bitcoin held in the Luna treasury to back the stablecoin had to be fully sold in an attempt to re-peg it to the dollar. That clearly didn't work. The sharp selling of Bitcoin dropped the price rapidly, which triggered cascade liquidations. Again, here I'm oversimplifying it, but if you're interested, I'll link another article and you can get more details. Ultimately, why this counts as strike three against Virgin Galactic, well, when people get margin called, they will sell whatever they need to cover their leverage position. And the first thing that goes each time are risk assets. So that's going to be growth stocks and crypto. So it's no surprise that Virgin got washed out as a result of this. All right, so you take those three reasons, right, and put them together, and that is essentially why Thursday saw us put in new all-time lows, not just in Virgin Galactic, but the broad market indices and crypto. And you're probably now thinking to yourself, okay, sure, but what about the solid bounce we saw on Friday? Surely that means that we've now definitely hit bottom and that's the start of the recovery, right? No. I'd love to say yes, but remember what I said, one step forward, two steps back. What we've just experienced is just your classic relief rally. At the lowest point this week, Virgin Galactic was down by more than 22%. That put the stock in oversold territory from a technical standpoint. And if you zoom out and look at the SP 500 and crypto, we've been trending down consistently for several weeks now. Basically, there's only so much you can sell before money flows back in to the market, and that's what Friday was about. How long does the relief rally really last? In my opinion, not very long. If you missed last week's video, I detailed out how I plan to approach the Virgin Galactic stock while we're range bound, and that plan has not changed. If you're wondering, the reason I'm fairly convinced that there's more pain ahead is quite simple actually. The tightening cycle has just now gotten underway to try and tame inflation, but you knew that already. And despite all the pain we've gone through this year so far, only the Nasdaq has officially entered into bear market. By definition, a bear market is a correction of 20% or greater, and as you can see, the Nasdaq, even after this relief rally, is still sitting at a 24.54% correction, which makes sense as growth stocks are the first one to correct in a higher interest rate environment. So here's what I'm paying attention to. The SP 500 got really close on Thursday to a bear market. The total year-to-date drop then was 18.40%. But again, people did not have the stomach to push beyond that point just yet. And so a relief rally kicked in, and we are back at 15.57% correction year-to-date. In my opinion, until the SP 500 formally enters a bear market, I just don't think we see capitulation. And capitulation is just a fancy way of saying massive broad market sell-offs induced by max volatility and a bit of panic, of course. The last thing I will say is this. Going full circle and turn it all back to Virgin Galactic, even if I only stick with analyst estimates on the consensus average price of $11.04, that's an over 68% ROI or return on investment for any shares bought at this level. That is a greater ROI than the SP 500 is likely going to return this year. I can almost guarantee you that. And if you were one of the lucky few who bought at $5.14, that would be an over 100% ROI. So the bottom line is this. We don't need to see $50 on Virgin Galactic over the next few months for this stock to provide some really nice returns. The more I can accumulate at these lower levels, the better outlook becomes at $10 and above. And for that reason, I'm still buying. And on that note, I'll leave it here for today. Don't forget to drop this video a like if it helped you gain a new perspective. Share with others who you think could also benefit from it. For my newcomers, subscribe and don't forget to ring the notification bell so that you too can stay in the know. I'll be back on Sunday and as time allows during the week here and there. Thank you for watching. Stay humble, hustle hard, and I'll see you in the next one.